Hi guys, Trevor Swenson back with PTSD Through the Darkness, my personal journey with post-traumatic stress disorder. And I wanted to talk about a topic today that has been one of the most frustrating parts of PTSD in hopes of validating people that are trying to figure out exactly what is going on in their journey with PTSD or unresolved trauma, whatever the situation may be for you personally. And that is the wash, rinse, spin, repeat cycle. Except wash, rinse, spin are replaced with anxiety, depression, and anger. For me, it is very, very predictable as I go through PTSD what is going to follow a certain number of days or a certain day or a certain period of time, and that is anxiety or fear is followed by depression, which comes from being completely exhausted, from being in a hyper-vigilant, hyper-aroused, literally fight or flight mode for no reason whatsoever for hours, days, sometimes a week or more at a time. The depression sets in, the energy is gone, hopelessness starts to creep in, and as I ease out of the depressive stage of PTSD, there is a little glimmer of I'm coming out of this. But unfortunately, with the I'm coming out of this feeling comes the anger. And it's very, very real anger. It's anger about having PTSD. It's anger about not knowing what the time frame is going to be for recovery. It's anger about how my PTSD came to be. It's anger about how it's affected my family. It's anger about how it's affected my daily life. It's anger about how it's affected my overall quality of life. And as I work through those feelings and as I sit with those feelings, which I want to talk about today is sitting with those feelings that you have, it's something that I've started to do over the last month or so, that I've allowed myself to feel and be present during the anxiety and the depression and the anger, and have just allowed myself to sit with those emotions. And I've allowed myself to sit with those emotions because I know that they are going to be cyclical, and I know that they are going to come to an end at one point or another. And what I'm waiting for, obviously, is for the day when they don't start up and the cycle doesn't start again. And I just thought it was really important to talk about the cyclical aspect of PTSD that I experienced, because when I was diagnosed with PTSD, I didn't know anything about PTSD. I didn't know anybody who had PTSD. I didn't know the first thing about PTSD. But as I have committed myself to talking about it on this channel and being very open about it, you become very, very in tuned to the ravages of PTSD, and you become acclimated and you start to understand where you're at exactly in the PTSD cycle. And I'm sure it's different for different people, but I will tell you that for me, it is a wash, rinse, spin cycle. Anxiety, depression, anger. And it just depends on which one of those seasons I'm in as to how I am for the day, how I'm doing for the day. And I really wish that I would have known how cyclical it was, because it would have helped me to sit with my emotions more effectively sooner in my battle with PTSD. One of the things that I know is very important is validation. And I want to take today to, again, validate your trauma, no matter how your trauma came to be. When you take a look at PTSD and complex PTSD and trauma and stressor-related disorder, there are so many ways that trauma comes to be in one's life. And something interrupted the trauma, the normal trauma that would have happened in your life and my life. Something interrupted the normal healing process, whether that be it happened over a long period of time, whether it was incredibly intense, whether it was an over-the-top experience, whether it was sustained trauma on many different levels, whether it be emotional, psychological, physical, whatever it might be. I'm finding as I study, and I hope you are studying as well, that it really doesn't matter how it came to be. What matters is how we are going to get up each day, and we are going to accept the fact that we have a battle to fight in front of us, and know that there is hope on the horizon. Know that there is, again, a good God. And to tell you the truth, God is my only hope through all of this. There is the medical community, there is my family, there is a group of friends, there is a lot of support relationally for me. But when it comes right down to it, when you take a look at life, my hope, my lone hope is indeed in Jesus Christ. That is where my lone hope is. And I look at what I'm walking through as being stuck in a cave for a period of time. And as I think of the story of David in the Bible, David was in a cave at Ziklag for some time. And I found myself asking God weekly, sometimes daily, at some point during the week, that before I come out of this cave of PTSD, that He shows me and that He teaches me, and that I am to see what He wants me to see through this entire experience. And I hope that happens for you as well, that you have your moment of realization that there is purpose in all of this, even though we can't see it or feel it at this particular moment, that there is hope and that there is a purpose even in PTSD and trauma, whether it be the softening of a heart, whether it be you looking at people completely differently because of your trauma. Good is going to come of it, and good will come of it. But I just wanted to talk about the cyclical aspect of PTSD and how it affects me personally, and to validate anybody that might be listening that is struggling with the ups and downs and loop-de-loos, that maybe take a look at it a little bit closer, and it may very well be a very predictable cycle like it is in my case with my PTSD. I hope this was helpful for you. I ask you to click and subscribe. Please forward this on to anybody that you think might be able to benefit or heal or find encouragement from any of these videos. That is my purpose now. Thanks for joining me. I can't wait to see you for another topic soon.